Yeah, that almost definitely didn't work. Guess what, guys? It's almost Halloween. I'm really excited. I hope you guys are excited too. Do you like my costume? I think it's pretty cool. So since it's close to Halloween, I thought that I would read you guys the scary story that I wrote a couple of years ago after my friends and I decided to do a challenge of writing scary stories, and in typical me fashion, never finished mine. So, I actually finished it specifically for this video. And now I'm gonna read it to you. Now this is a little bit gory, and if you get squeamish with that stuff like I do, then just watch with caution. It's funny because I do get squeamish with gore, and yet I can write it without too much of a problem. So just be careful. Here we go. That was the upstairs hall closet creaking open. You grab the remote and hit pause. The Netflix episode you're watching freezes, the speakers going silent. Your ears perk up, listening hard. Faintly you think you hear a small thunk, thunk, clunk, clunk. Footsteps? That was impossible. Your parents were out on a date for their anniversary, and your siblings were all asleep. You were the only one still awake. A bolt of lightning flashed through the windows and lit up your house for a split second before plunging it back into darkness. The night is so absolute that the TV screen's light can't even penetrate it more than a few feet past the couch. Slowly you gather up your courage and stand up. With bare feet cold, you take careful, measured steps towards the stairs. Gosh, you hate the basement in the middle of the night in a lightning storm. It's chilly and makes the whole house sound haunted. Taking a deep breath, you begin your ascent. Your toes feel a little warmer as you touch the old, worn-out carpet on the steps. When you reach the top of the stairs, you're in or near the kitchen. Rummaging through your cupboards and drawers until you find the largest frying pan in your family's collection, you extract it and grip it tight. You go on the prowl. Every time you make a footfall, your heart rate kicks up a step. Your blood is roaring in your ears, making it difficult to pick up on those faint footsteps. When you reach the drawer, you pull out one of the flashlights and hold it in your free hand. Every hair on your arms and the back of your neck is standing straight up in anticipation. You want to hide your fear, but obviously that isn't going to happen. Nothing like this has ever happened before, and you aren't entirely sure how to handle it. Every muscle is taut, and every nerve is stretched thin. Slowly, carefully, you creep to the hall closet. It's ajar. You stop for a moment, more out of surprise and confusion than anything else. That door is never open. The only things that are in there are towels and bed sheets, and probably a few misplaced blankets from the last chilly football game you went to watch at your school. Your eyebrows scrunch and you place one foot a step forward. Squelch! Your foot lands in something sticky and wet, and it oozes between your toes. Terrified, you halt completely. Your body freezes and turns to stone. Your eyes close as you suck in a deep breath. You thumb the on switch of the flashlight carefully, wondering if you want to look down. You hesitate because despite your best efforts, you're scared of what you'll see. Your knuckles turn white on the frying pan as you rest it on your shoulder. Maybe you should just call the police, the practical side of your mind whispers. You nod. That's a good idea. But there's no reason to call the police if one of your siblings just spilled a cup of water or milk or soda or something. So you resolve to look down first, then determine if you need to whack your sibling upside the head for not cleaning up their mess, or call the cops because there's a murderer crouching in your house somewhere. A bolt of lightning burns through your retinas, illuminating something glistening on the wall for the briefest second before you're encased in shadows again. Your blood is pounding in your ears so loudly you can barely hear the deep rumble of thunder that follows after it within moments. Your body is petrified. Was that? Your blood runs cold in your veins and you feel like dropping the frying pan. You feel your heart trying frantically to escape your ribcage and fling itself down the hall. You take a deep breath, closing your eyes for a moment to steel your nerves and quiet your fears. You turn on the flashlight and tilt your head down, eyes still closed. More of whatever is on the floor has seeped up through the pressure of your weight in your foot, submerging your toes completely. Your racing heart can be felt in your fingers and legs, like you just ran 5 miles. Taking a deep breath, you peel one eye open and turn on the flashlight. Dark red, glistening. A pool of blood on the floor, with drops leading down the rest of the hallway to the bathroom. The same color splattered on the walls. If you thought your pulse was fast before, it skyrocketed far beyond that now. Even if you aren't scared, your body decided you should be without your consent. No amount of video games, Stephen King, or horror movies could prepare you for the real thing. For this, happening now. Maybe it's not blood. There was the rational part of your mind again, deciding to try to make itself heard over the monstrous fear roaring through your brain. But it had a point. It could very well just be fruit punch, or that one juice your mom likes. It looks a bit like blood, right? You bend your knees and put one finger in the glistening, icky puddle up to the second knuckle. You put it near your nose, careful not to touch your upper lip, and sniff at it cautiously. Nothing. You can't smell anything. Odd. You vaguely remember something from lab safety in science class about never putting anything in your mouth to taste it. But you also remember your teacher saying in real-life situations, sometimes you don't have a choice. You stick the tip of your tongue out past your lips and dab the tip of your finger to it. For a very brief moment, you wait for the taste to register. Blood. Panic rises faster than a kite in a windstorm. Whether you beat it down with your internal frying pan or let it run rampant, you still know it's there and know that at this point, the best option would definitely be to call your parents, or the police. But it's late at night and you don't know what's actually happening. You'd hate to waste their time if your sibling just fell out of bed and cut their arm on the corner of their desk or something. Perhaps a little bit more investigation is still needed. Your fingers tighten around the frying pan handle, still cautious. Your nerves are making your entire body tremble. The pounding in your chest echoes in your fingertips and legs. The roaring of blood and the storm outside mask any further sounds of someone else in the house with you. You can't hear any more footsteps. Not that that matters. The trail leads quite obviously to the bathroom, where it disappears under the closed door and stops. Your phone is in your pocket. You can feel it against your leg. But with both hands occupied by the frying pan and the flashlight, you can't pull it out to call the police. And even if you could, would that even be a good idea? What if the trail came from a murderer and they heard you? Steeling yourself and ignoring your nerves, you follow the glistening trail down the hallway as another bolt of lightning out the far window sears its shape down your vision, leaving a brightly colored, jagged streak down the center of the carpet. The massive boom of thunder almost immediately after signals that the storm is getting closer. The greenish imprint of the lightning makes it difficult to see the carpet and the walls. You hold completely still for several agonizingly long moments until it fades just enough that your night vision returns. Carefully, you turn off the flashlight and set it on a clean patch of carpet. You pull your phone out of your pocket and get ready to call the police with one hand. But not yet. If it's not a murderer, there will be no need for the police. Your other hand holds onto the frying pan. You take a deep breath and try to calm your shaking knees. On tiptoe, you creep down the hallway towards the bathroom, holding the pan aloft now, behind your head, ready to swing. The nightlight in the bathroom switches on. You see the soft yellow glow from the crack between the door and the floor. One foot in front of the other, silent as possible. You avoid stepping in more of the drops of the dark red trail, even though the foot that stepped in the liquid originally is still soaked with it. You hope everyone will believe you when you tell them why you have blood on your foot. The hallway seems to elongate as you walk down it, like you'll never reach the bathroom door. Your pulse continues to beat at a heightened rate, and your breathing quickens in anticipation. Fear makes goosebumps sprout on your arms. Your mouth is dry, and your throat seems to have forgotten how to swallow. After what feels like an eternity, you reach the bathroom door. It's closed, and the light still glows around the edges, looking far too pleasant for the situation. You take a deep breath and place your fingertips on the knob, still holding your phone with your thumb. Deciding that you just have to do it like ripping off a Band-Aid, you grab the knob, twist it, and shove the door open. Your phone drops from your hand, and a blood-curdling scream rips itself from your dry throat. The end. So that was my scary story that I wrote for Halloween, and I hope you guys have a great holiday, and I hope I didn't scare you too bad. Have a great Halloween, guys. See you later, dreamers.